Coffee, I love my coffee. Hi, back to this day job after my staycation. But I'll tell you all about it because my staycation was right here. Let's roll the intro. Tell you what I'm doing today. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Langers and I am the scruffy trader that is incredibly tired because, as I said before the intro, I was on a staycation because I should have been in Tenerife getting absolutely battered and enjoying myself, but instead I had to stay here. So I did a couple of challenges for you guys just while I was off. But today, it's back to normality, back to my day job, back to my coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee, and genuinely enjoying myself throughout the day. I'm just currently watching the last trade play out, or the last part of the trade play out, because push the challenges to one side, I still need to earn a living because trading is my job. If I don't trade, I don't get paid. So what you see is real life. It's my life. You know, none of this.
You ding dong!
Oh, make it stop!
Sorry guys, had to put one in. But just me, the charts, a cup of coffee, and a few pearls of wisdom from an aging child that loves the screens. So what I'll do is I'll jump onto the screens and let you listen to the commentary of the chart that I set up this morning. I did do a little bit of scalping for you guys just to see if you can get your 15 pips. I really don't enjoy it and I cut a few of them short simply because the market conditions, they bounce around too much for me, and it's why I don't like scalping. I watch it all the time on the other channels and they make it out as if it's easy and it's the road to riches. It's incredibly stressful. It is certainly not the road to riches, and it's very time consuming. Whereas the Aussie, which I've been trading today, yeah, it's been running since early this morning. It's paid me very well. Do what I normally do. I break up my positions and then I manage the trade. And it's peaceful, it's relaxing. And all I have to do is watch the screens. I can manage my swing trades. I can gather information for tomorrow. Marvellous. Wonderful way to trade. Scalping, on the other hand, you're glued to the screen. You don't know whether the candle's going to go up, whether it's going to go down. You're constantly feeling emotion from a high to a low, and ultimately you're only getting 5 ticks, you know. And I know there's people out there going to jump on straight away saying, well, you start your scaling from 5 ticks. Yes, I do, but the overall trade is worth around 50 ticks because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a move about 20-30 ticks. Langers is a happy boy because I know if I do that I get paid quite well, but I can also manage it quite well. Simple stuff. And if I'm swing trading, I'm looking for 30-40 ticks that I'm going to manage overnight or into a few days, and it might even run up to be 100-150. You know, it's just a gentle, easy way to trade. So let me jump on the screens, let you see what's been going on, how the trade was set up, and then when this is finished, it may well be finished in the next 15 minutes or so, because it's getting late into the day. It's now 5:30, so I have a tendency to close them off unless I plan to keep them running overnight, and this one I don't. I don't want to run it overnight because it's coming up into a very strong area area of interest that it could go either way, whether it's going to punch through it. So I'd rather take the money and run. But that's what day trading is. If you haven't planned to run it overnight, don't run it overnight. Simple as that. So on the screens, and then I'll do a summary and I'll tell you exactly why I've managed the trade I have. And then I'm going to address an email that I got this morning. It was a very nice email. Wasn't one of the rants, but it did ask a specific question that I want to address. Okay, so I'll see you on the other side.
Okay, let's see what we've got. So today, back on my day trades, as usual, figure out my strengths. The Aussie is a damn sight stronger than the US today. However, if you look at this, there's been a change in strength overnight. The US is picking up and the Aussie is decreasing. So we've got to be a little bit careful about how I'm going to trade this. But I'm also going to do a little bit of scalping for you, and it's the Euro and the USD. Okay, and see what else we find throughout the day. So reason behind this, there is a nice strong move up. It's gone into consolidation. As you can see on a 4-hour, slammed down, it's rejected this level and it's pushing up with this pin bar, body to the top, with all the pressures going that way, which was seen here as well, because you can see it quite clearly. Drop it to an hour and you can see that more clearly. The greens are starting to show strength. It's pulling into the middle of the Bollinger and I'm going zone to zone. Okay, it's also come into a trigger point, which is here. Drop it onto my 15 minutes. You see a strong drive up. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be placing an order above here and I'll trail it down till it triggers with an aim to get up to into this area. So that's what we're going to do now, because everything's looking in that direction. Nice strong move. So we'll put our orders in at 69.50. For this, obviously it's my day trade, so it's going up to normal. Well, you're not looking in the camera today, you're just dropping the coffee. Well done. See that? Star Wars, even though she doesn't like it. How dare she? Right, what was I doing? 69.50. Start at 10 pips. Sorry guys, bear with me a second. Winky threw me off. Yes. Why? Because you always do. You're a nuisance, that's why. That's set. We're ready to rock and roll. What I'm going to be doing is keeping an eye on this. If it triggers and drags in, great. If it doesn't, I'll just pull these orders down to the top of the candles as they go. And as long as it stays within this area, I'm happy. If it goes into this area and it hasn't triggered, I'll cancel these off and I'll reevaluate. I have a feeling that we're probably going to be coming down to this area here. Just put a mark on so I can see it. Kind of roughly where I think the price, if it doesn't explode up, it'll come down to around this area, which is half of that move, but it's also bunching up on the bottom of this structure point here. You know, if you look at across, there you can see it's tested, and it's danced around that area. We'll come back and then up there. But we shall see. All right, so we'll just let that ride out, and I'll look at it again in sort of 5-10 minutes or so. All right. But in the meantime, because I was doing a little scalpy thing for you guys, let's have a little look at this. Okay, so if I go out to the hour, drop a 21 on, clearly above. Also, the two moving averages are above it. There's a decent bit of space from there to there, so we can look at that. So what I need it to do, I need it to come down and touch this line in order to enter this trade. And I'll be looking for a quick 15 ticks out of scalping to add on to the sheet that we've been making up. We'll do that. And the other markets that are pretty good. Now this one's interesting me because of this drive. Okay, so if you drop that onto an hourly, you can see there's been a pretty strong sell-off and it's bouncing here. So what you can do is look at a fib, which is there. So there is your move. It's consolidating around this area. So the area we want to be interested in is kind of around here, 23.6. So we'll just put a little line in there. That there. Because you never really want to fly in the face of the falling knife. But what you do want to do is keep an eye on that, because when that steam runs out, it's going to retrace. Okay, and it happens over and over. Bit of a broken direction, because it had a stall point here and a stall point there, but the overall move, which you can see in this steep movement down, is pretty strong and impulsive. That's what I call a strong directional move. Okay, but because it's had these broken areas in, I'd have a tendency to watch it, because it could break. If it breaks this level, it's going down here, out of the way. However, if it retraces, touches this, there's a good chance it's going to come back to this one, you know, which is kind of a retest of the bottoms of here and the bottoms of here. So it's reasonable, but we'll keep an eye on it and see what's happening with that. You know, again, if you want to zoom down, you can look at it. See, there was a micro retracement. Went down, it's pulled back up, it's pushed down. How far did that get back up? So if it went from that red candle to that red candle, well, what do you know? 50%. Spooky how often that happens, isn't it? But there you go. It's the game that we play. All right, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. What else have we got going for us? Euro's pretty strong. The other one is the German. Now this one again is an interesting subject to look at. Strong directional move. It's retraced. Oh, there we go. Aussie's in. It has retraced up, which you can see there. But it stayed below this 21 moving average. So keep a bit careful. But once it breaches that, we can look at this as well. All right. And the other crowd favorite is oil. So let's have a little look at oil. Okay, price is above the 21. Drop it down to a 5. So see if it comes back and touches this, and then we'll have a little look at that as well. Okay. go. 591. Back to what I like to do. But in the mix of all of that, I did do a little bit of scalping for you guys, as you'll have seen on the screens, flipping backwards and forwards. And it was essentially 5 positions. They were broken up. It was tedious. It was hard work. But I still pulled in 44 pips out of those scalps. And the idea of those scalps was just to show you it can be done, but also to tell you that it is incredibly hard work. A little bit like the woman behind me. And I'll tell you why she's hard work. Because for the last few weeks, she hasn't been able to go to the hairdressers.
Yes.
And yesterday, she was excited because she was going today. And look at that. How pretty are you? Are you happy now?
I am.
Are you going to stop punching me? Oh, that'll be no then. She is terrible, you know. I mean, the thing is between us, I mean, I am quite a big guy, you know. I'm topping 6 foot and 20 stone. I am literally 3 times the size of her. But she goes to the gym and everything when she's allowed. I mean, if we got into it, I've had it. So, I do like you, though. Sorry. Right. Back to this. Scalping went well, but it was really hard work, but I achieved the target. So, kind of proved the point I was making, if you like. Okay. So I'm going to jump on the camera. I'm just going to address a quick email, and then I'm just going to wind it up. Okay. So come with me.
There we go. So sorry for the interlude with Winky, but it's real life, and she is around the house all the time, so she's always going to stick her oar in. But she does make the coffee, so that's okay. So what I wanted to address was this email. And I'll not name the guy in case he didn't want to be named. And it's a nice email, and I am very flattered by it. But I do get these things all the time. And the reason why I wanted to address the email is the situation of signals. So you see me trade all the time. You know, I put up my live trades pretty much 2 or 3 times a week, and I always show the deal ticket so you can see exactly what's going on, etc. And I suppose because of that, it's going to attract certain people, and I do get approached by companies to see if I'll trade on other people's behalf, and in this case, would I be a signal provider? And the answer is normally no. Well, I say normally no. It's always no. And there's a number of reasons why. I don't like trading for other people, although I am talking to a company at the moment about a possible fund. And it's mainly because I'll be trading my money as well. So all I'll be doing is mirroring what I'm doing, rather than with some other fund managers, you are constrained in the way that you trade. And because I trade in a strange way, I wouldn't fit in that framework. So that wouldn't be for me. I would need to do it my way. And the reason I do it my way is because I'm comfortable with it and I understand it. And as you guys see, it works very well. You know, I am not Warren Buffett, and I'm certainly not a multi-millionaire, but I earn a wage. And that's all I'm here for. I'm just here to earn a wage. Okay? And if I can show you guys a thing or two, then that's great. And then when you get an email like what came through this morning, you know, it's very nice, and he reaches out, and you can kind of see some of the figures as to why a lot of people want you to buy signals. Because if you've got a number of subscribers, and I actually hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube today, very pleased, and I do thank all of you who have subscribed. It genuinely made my day, and I'm getting a pizza, so that'll be even better, and life's pretty good. So thank you. Sorry, I digress. But say I had 1,000 of you, and you were all subscribing to a signal service. That is a colossal amount of money, and it dilutes the real reason why you're there in the first place, and that is to trade. because my business, if I did that, would not be trading. I would then become a signal provider, and I'd be more interested in recruiting new subscribers and one thing and another just to earn a subscription fee. And I have zero interest in it. And it's likewise when you see teachers and one thing and another selling a course. I have no desire to sell a course. Yes, I may put a strategy together and you'll pay a few pounds for it that I'll give away. But a strategy is a lot different to a course. If you want a course, there's plenty free on the internet. You know, you don't need to pay for one, guys. Just learn the basics. There's loads, and if you're stuck, drop me a line. I'll point you in the right direction, and I'll tell you where these courses are. Strategy, slightly different. And if you want a mentor, by all means. I mean, I do one-to-ones. I only do a couple a month because I haven't got time to do any more than that. And again, that's just to point you in the right direction. And it's not part of my business model. My business model is what you saw me doing today. And the reason it's my business model is because I love it. I love the screens, and I love taking on Mr. Market every single day. And there's nothing better than at the end of the night knowing that you've gone into the battlefield and you've come out of it unscathed. Fantastic, you know, and that's what I love about it. I love the challenge every day. The money is just the byproduct. I don't go in looking for the money. I go in looking for the process. But this takes me back to the email. If I was doing signals, I'd be really cautious about what I'm looking to trade. I'd be really mindful all the time because somebody else's money's on the line, and I really don't want that responsibility. So as much as I'm flattered, it's not really something I want to do. Okay, so I wish you well if it's signals that you're after, and I've yet to see a signal provider that I think is worth the money that they charge. Call me skeptical. I've just never seen one, guys. I really haven't. And I'm always a little bit wary of signal services. I always think there's another motive behind them. Okay? And if you work out some of the figures, you can probably figure out what that motive is. So that was that. Had a great day today. Aussie did me proud, just like what I thought it might. Could have been better, but it sure as hell could have been a lot worse. So, been a great day all around. So I'm going to trade that in for a beer. I'm going to get my fingers on the computer and get a pizza ordered. And I'm going to have a thoroughly good night and do it all again tomorrow. So remember, guys, do what you love, and the money will follow. I'll see you all in the next one.